Basketball is a game that's full of colorful characters. From Dennis Rodman to AI in Meta World Peace, there has been no shortage of individuals who not only welcome controversy, but seem to succeed in it. One man who knows all about that is none other than the all-time NBA legend, Charles Barkley. Even though the round mound of rebound hung up his sneakers all the way back in the year 2000, Charles Barkley's moves into sports commentary has only made fans love him even more. Because in a world where people play politics and watch their words to evade destroying relationships, Charles doesn't hesitate to say exactly what he really feels.
Like, if I get a disease and I'm gonna die, how about I get Skip Bayless in here and I kill him live on national television?
I like it.
Yeah.
I like pay-per-view.
Because I just want to get Skip Bayless in a room one time and just beat him like a dog.
Okay, so you kill him.
Yes.
Okay.
Only if I knew I was going to.
Only if you were going to die.
Yeah. Now, if I'm going to live, I don't want to be in prison because...
All while his well-documented hatred for someone like Skip Bayless seems to be legitimate, there are other times where he'll make an example out of you just for fun.
Lonzo Ball had a triple single.
I've told you, they thought he wasn't going to play with a sprained ankle.
Well, he had 2 points. He didn't play.
Okay, so tell me this.
Wait, he had 2 points and you going to say he played? He had 2 more points than me. he had a triple single.
It's your boy Luesta, aka La Hoopsta, and these are the victims of Charles Barkley. But real quick, let me put you onto something that's actually been helping me eat good while staying on track lately. As someone who works from home, Factor has been so clutch for me. It's a prepared meal service that delivers fresh, never frozen meals straight to your door, ready to heat and eat in 2 minutes. Their ingredients are fresh and way better than overpriced takeout you'd regret 10 minutes later. Personally, I've been running with their Protein Plus meals and grabbing the cold pressed juices from their add-ons to make sure I'm feeling great throughout the day. If that sounds like something you'd be into, or you're just tired of eating the same boring stuff every day, head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code 50LuHoopsta to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first Factor box. That's code 50LuHoopsta at factor75.com to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. Alright, now let's get back into the video. These days, there are a wide array of scenarios in which someone around the sport of basketball might find themselves in the crosshairs of Barkley from his position on the TNT Sports desk. But one of the fastest ways to wind up there is to act like you know anything about hooping if you've never stepped on the court. In one legendary rant, then Houston Rockets GM Daryl Morey found this out the hard way when Chuck went off on his data-driven approach to basketball. To put it simply, Charles hates analytical arguments. So when he criticized the Rockets for what he saw as glaring defensive flaws, Morey didn't stay quiet. Instead, he clapped back with a subtle but sharp tweet.
Tweeting that the best part of being at a TNT game live is it's easy to avoid Charles spewing misinformed, biased vitriol disguised as entertainment.
In response, Charles decided to sound off and essentially cooked Morey inside out.
I'm not worried about Daryl Morey. He's one of those idiots who believe in analytics. And listen, I wouldn't know Daryl Morey if he walked in this room right now.
So tell us how you feel about Daryl Morey's comments.
Come on, man.
And that was very vitriol of you to say.
I just tell the truth.
He started off relatively calm, but it didn't take long for Charles to flip the switch.
All these guys who run these organizations who talk about analytics, they have one thing in common. They're a bunch of guys who ain't never played the game, and they never got the girls in high school, and they just want to get in the game.
You know what I cannot wait for, Chuck?
They never got the girls in high school.
You know what I cannot wait?
He basically said that anyone who prioritized stats over talent was really just a failed hooper trying to stay relevant. Moreover, he claimed that guys like that were only into analytics because they couldn't get respect on the court when they were younger.
Analytics don't work at all. It's just a crap to some people who were really smart made up to try to get in the game because they had no talent. Because they had no talent to be able to play.
I agree with you on that,
So smart guys wanted to fit in, so they made up a term called analytics. Analytics don't work. What analytics did the Miami Heat have? What analytics did the Chicago Bulls have? What analytics do the Spurs have? They have the best players. They have coaching staffs who make players better. And like I say, the Rockets sucked for a long time. So they went out and paid James Harden a lot of money. They got better. Then they went out and got Dwight Howard. They got better. They had Chandler Parsons. And no, this year they went out and got Ariza. The NBA is about talent.
Ever since this violation, Morey has had the good sense to keep Barkley's name out of his mouth. And as we have seen time and time again, it doesn't even matter if you're not a player. Charles has no problem starting a full-blown vendetta with anyone he feels has stepped out of line, whether you're on the court or just happen to be dating someone who is. Sometimes, players' girlfriends can get the smoke too. And this was proven when he engaged in a war of words with Gabrielle Union. Back in 2015, Charles took issue with Dwayne Wade being appointed to the Eastern Conference's All-Star team, believing that he hadn't done enough to deserve the honor of that year. Dwayne's great, he's a Hall of Famer, but he didn't deserve to make the All-Star team. But one person who wouldn't let that slide was Gabrielle Union, who came to the defense of her significant other. Forgive Charles, Kenny Smith is a two-time champion, and his opinion is most sound. It's like me talking about Meryl Streep, but I ain't won nothing. As always, Chuck isn't one to let go when provoked. And in an edition of Inside the NBA, he let Gabrielle know what he thought about her comments and her acting abilities.
First of all, don't ever mention you and Meryl Streep in the same sentence.
She said no.
Meryl Streep would never be on Snakes on a Plane or Medea.
She wasn't on the. She wasn't.
Well, she could have been.
She wasn't on Snakes.
I've seen her act. She could be on Snakes on a Plane or Medea.
Now you said she's not a good actress.
She's taking shots.
She's a good actress. She's not. She said forgive you.
She's pretty.
She said she's
pretty.
Oh my God.
She's very pretty.
You're out of order,
I'm not
man.
one of them people who gonna turn the other cheek. You said something bad about me, I'm gonna say something.
You're out of order right now. Stop.
And if you turn the other cheek,
She said forgive you.
I'm gonna hit you another cheek.
Stop, man.
Hey, listen, I like that lady. She's a very nice lady, and I like Dwayne. But this is we get paid to be honest.
In the aftermath, Gabrielle still wouldn't let it go, continuing to use the fact that he'd never won a championship as her first line of defense. However, she did say that there was no real ill will.
I said, well, forgive Chuck. You know, Kenny Smith, who is a two-time world champion,
Yes.
His opinion is more sound.
Yes.
I said, it's like me talking about Meryl Streep, but I ain't won nothing.
Right.
And then, so I was ready. I was ready for
You were ready to go,
I was
yeah.
ready to rumble with Chuck.
And I would say if you can have a feud, you can do a lot worse than Charles Barkley. He'd be a fun guy to rumble with. Yeah.
He's a friend. You
Yeah.
know, so I was prepared. And then, God bless him, he didn't get the tweet.
Right?
So, like, his diss, like, his comeback was like, wah, wah, wah.
Oh, no.
He was like, yeesh, she should never mention her name with Meryl Streep. Yeah, that's what I said. He's like the guy that like insists on coming to book club but didn't read the book, but wants to dominate the conversation. And you're like, you don't know what you're talking about. Stop talking.
He heard there'd be wine and canopies.
By now, it should be obvious that Charles doesn't discriminate. Whether you're male or female, Chuck will come at your neck at a moment's notice with no remorse if he feels it's merited. And a few years back, a whole city's worth of girls had to learn this the hard way when they were fat-shamed by him. In 2014, Charles, like the rest of us, had no shortage of admiration for what the Spurs were achieving. But it's fair to say that he didn't feel the same about some of the women that he'd seen in the stands. In fact, Chuck went as far as to suggest that every lady in the state was a little on the heavy side.
Go to Portland, I'm gonna get all the free Nike stuff I want. If I go to San Antonio, I'm gonna get a bunch of churros.
What kind of women are in San Antonio?
Oh, some big old women down there.
Why would you say that?
That's a gold mine for Weight Watchers.
Why say that?
Why does every conversation about San Antonio eventually come around to...
Do they have spandex in San Antonio?
Oh, no. And Victoria, definitely a secret.
Oh, man.
They can't wear no Victoria's Secret down there. It's a secret. Them are big old women.
Charles, all you're trying to do right now...
Hit them out the park.
It's like that. It's like slow pitch.
Victoria, Shaq, Victoria's Secret down there.
Oh, man. It's not even slow pitch.
That's a gold mine. That's a gold mine, Chuck, for Weight Watchers. They down there be wearing bloomers.
All he does...
They wear big old bloomers down there, and they're not wearing no...
In the event that San Antonio goes...
Ain't nothing skimpy down in San Antonio, Shaq.
And we're there.
As many of his comments do, this unprovoked takedown of the women in San Antonio prompted a backlash from the city.
So what did you think of Charles Barkley's comments?
Oh, the man they call the round mound of rebound.
Charles Barkley was making fun of San Antonio. Isn't he from Alabama? Did he ever have hair or has he always been bald?
Barkley? Is that a fat, bald one?
But just as you would expect, Barkley refused to back down.
I think it's a great city. I think they got the best organization in the NBA, but they do have some big old women down there. I mean, come on now.
See what you do to him every time you go down.
I'm telling you, man. They be whooping them churros.
None of those. Hey, but none of those 5 ladies were big that he interviewed.
That's why it took her all day. Come on.
Can I see?
It took her all day.
It took me a wrong way to get
It
there.
took her all day to find 5 skinny women down there.
This led to a period of jibes back and forth, with Tim Duncan's girlfriend, Vanessa Macias, clapping back with a t-shirt, which looked to put him in his place.
Chuck, you're looking a little slim.
How about a churro? Let's go get it, baby. Let's go get it. I know that woman ain't from here. They flew her in from Dallas. I guarantee you. Hey, those girls are not from San Antonio. They flew them in from Houston and Dallas.
I don't know.
Very nice.
Underdog, put that on the menu.
We're just getting warm here on Inside.
Wow, another one, Chucky.
Back with more.
Oh, boy, good camera work.
Slim and thin in San Antonio.
Still, Chuck remained undeterred, getting in some wise cracks whenever he could.
I bet you couldn't do that to them big-ass women in San Antonio. Oh.
We're not even in San Antonio.
No, you could do that to them little skinny Houston.
Being done by the Coyote in San Antonio.
Well, you can't get them big women to do it. Gotta do it. Yes, I ain't heard that in 2 years.
Oh, it hadn't been that long.
Oh, there goes some San Antonio women.
What they wear, Chuck?
They wear them big old bloomers down there, son. They can't get in them cute little panties. They wear bloomers.
Clearly, Charles is as comfortable in conflict as just about anyone, using every feud as an excuse to take on all corners with vicious barbs. But he's not always thrilled to count fellow legends of the hardwood as among his enemies, as is the case with his high-profile falling out with none other than Michael Jordan. In a lot of ways, Charles and Michael Jordan were always destined to square up against one another. In the 1992-93 season, Charles famously won the MVP over Air Jordan. But when they squared off against each other in the finals, Barkley says he was met with a rude awakening as he was outplayed by his rival.
I think this guy might be better than me. And I never said that about another basketball player in my life. Ever. But I remember being so depressed that night. I said, I don't know if I can beat this guy. I was frustrated because I couldn't wheel my team past Michael and the Bulls. First of all, I don't think I've ever gotten over it, number one. But that was traumatic. I stayed up for like a day and a half. I just couldn't sleep, and I was so frustrated.
Despite their showdowns on the court, Charles and MJ were tight for a long time, almost like brothers. Barkley even gave Jordan credit for helping him stack his money off the court.
Michael has always been like a brother to me. Michael is a great businessman. If you go back and look at it, Michael was probably the first jock businessman. He taught me about stock options, because I was making a nice chunk of change from Nike.
And he saw that.
And he says, stop taking so much cash, take stock options. And if I remember correctly, I think I quadrupled my money. But he's been a great mentor to me in the business world, and he's been a great friend.
But after years of being close, things started to fall apart during MJ's run as the head of the Charlotte Bobcats. That's when Charles spoke up and called out his longtime friend for how poorly he thought the team was being ran. I think the biggest problem is that I don't know if he has hired enough people around him who he will listen to. One thing about being famous is the people around you. You pay all their bills, so they very rarely disagree with you because they want you to pick up the check. They want you to fly around your private jet, so they never disagree with you. I don't think Michael hired enough people around him who will disagree. I love Michael, but he just hasn't done a good job. Even though he's one of my great friends, I can't get on here and tell you he's done a great job. He has not done a great job. Plain and simple. But the outspoken commentator didn't stop there, claiming that he discussed the draft options with him, only for his advice to fall on deaf ears. Michael, I think you should take Brandon Roy. And he said, we like Adam Morrison. I said, Adam Morrison can't play. I said, let me ask you a question. Did you say Adam Morrison first, and the Bobcats' front office staff agreed with you? Or did they say Adam Morrison first? He said, what do you mean? I said, Michael, nobody wants to disagree with you. You are such a powerful personality. Nobody, especially your flunkies as I call them, the flunkies are never going to disagree with you. Adam Morrison is a nice kid. He can't play in the NBA. Morrison started just 28 NBA games and is now playing overseas. Despite the fact that it was Charles' job at the time, Michael was seemingly hurt by his friend talking about his team and the apparent mishandling he was responsible for.
What's caused the rift between you and Michael?
I think that Michael was upset about some of the things I said about the Bobcats, which, number one, they were true. I can't, I told you earlier, I'm gonna be honest and I'm gonna be fair. And the Bobcats, first of all, he's doing a much better job. But a couple years ago, I wanna say 3 years ago, when they were vying for the worst record in NBA history, Michael had not done a good job. And he took it personally.
Well, I mean, if you guys have been great friends forever, why should that matter in the grand scheme of things if you just criticize some NBA decisions?
I think that everybody I wish it was that simple, to be honest with you.
Despite MJ's disdain for him, Charles has continued to express his admiration for him, as it is ultimately a one-sided beef.
This is when I knew Michael Jordan was crazy. Michael's the most competitive person I've ever been around in my life. So me, him, Chuck Daly, and David Robinson go play golf one morning. We're playing Puerto Rico that afternoon. Chuck says, hey, guys, we played 18. Michael said, I'm gonna play another 18. Chuck said, we got a game tonight. He says, I'll be good. This is how crazy Michael is. We get to the game. Charles, you got this guy. Scotty, you got this guy. Michael, you got this guy. Michael said, no, I got the point guard. He says, what? He says, I got the point guard. He says, you don't want to guard the two guard? Michael's kind of leaning down. Michael looked and said, I said I got the point guard. He said some shit about me in the newspaper, and I'm gonna get it. And we're looking around like, uh-oh, this little kid in trouble. He played 36 holes of golf, and he's guarding this dude like it's game 7. And he's talking, don't you ever say my damn name again. I'm looking at Karl Malone, I'm like, yo, man, there's something wrong with this dude.
He's even shot it down whenever comparisons are made between MJ and any new flavor of the month that people feel could step up to his level. Just look at how he reacted when they suggested that Anthony Edwards could lace his sneakers.
Who people been, and please, America, please stop the Michael Jordan stuff. This guy's had one good playoff run. And he's a great, I think he's gonna be a great player. He's a really nice kid. We root for him, we want him to be.
Is he close?
No, hell no. Close to who? Close to who? They both black.
You're not close to Mike?
He's not close to Michael Jordan.
At 23?
Michael Jordan was getting, remember he was scoring like.
I'm just asking, at 23, 23 Mike at 23, I'm just asking.
Not do that.
You know what, honestly, and this is not disrespectful.
He's nice.
But try as he might to prove that he still loves him, Charles claims that they haven't spoken in a decade.
You and MJ were really close.
Yes.
And haven't spoke in some time. Is there light at the end of the tunnel with that? Do you feel like you guys can mend that?
That would be on his end, Matt. He was my best friend at the time, and I love the guy and I miss the guy. But I gotta do my job. And he called me, and that's the last thing I heard was, motherfucker, you're supposed to be my boy, and blah, blah. And I said, man, I gotta do my job. And we haven't spoken since that night, and that was probably close to 10 years ago.
When dealing with someone as historically sensitive as Michael Jordan, it probably would have been a good idea to run what he was gonna say by him before putting his management skills on blast. But thankfully, his co-host that he roasts more than anyone else on Inside the NBA is able to take his victimization by Charles with good humor.
Coaching, instructing somebody to do it, and giving somebody and taking away confidence, two different things.
But switching them up.
Can't no coach give me or take away my confidence. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
Well, Keem did that.
No, he didn't.
I will say this, the only player.
Man, a lot of shots.
Of course, this could only be Shaquille O'Neal. A pair who've known each other for decades, Charles's time on TNT has been filled with endless disses towards Shaq. Often, these revolve around his waistline.
It goes back, so I just let it grow up.
Well, I watched the show the other night. I just want to say you look like a damn idiot.
There it was the other night.
You don't like that, Ernie?
That doesn't look like hair to me, Shaq.
That looks like Ernie. You're the black Ernie Johnson.
Like you went to.
Oh, okay. You're not exactly skinny.
I'm skinnier than you.
You never heard those words, man. Shaq, you look like you're losing weight. Those are words I've never heard before.
On other occasions, it's about his intelligence or perceived lack of talent.
We'll hear his post-game thoughts on.
You know what? That last year in Boston, you played like a slug. You were barely making it up and down the court.
Yeah, but when I got home, I looked at my cabinet and I saw 4 things that you will never see.
What's that?
R-I-N-G-S.
R-I-N-G-S.
Yeah, 36.
36? Why 36?
Oh, that's how many points you had like in a month.
No, I think.
All right, Cavaliers.
33.
Why 33?
That's how many points he had in 2 months.
After I had 4 rings, and you got none.
Come on, man. Oh, man.
And while he normally takes it in good humor, there are certain things he can say which subtly get under his skin. For example, he's claimed that the only reason Shaq won championships was because he had more talented teammates carrying the load.
First of all, I speak from not being a great defensive player, but having championship experience. I know what the hell I'm talking about. The others got to step up, period. I don't give a damn what you're talking about.
Hey, listen.
Rob, hook me up, Rob.
Hey, listen, let me tell you
Hook
something.
me up, Rob.
They got
Big shot, Bob. I appreciate you. B. Shaw, Robert Horry, James Posey.
Don't forget
Thanks
Kobe
for stepping
Dwayne
up
Wade.
when I got double, triple teams.
Don't forget Kobe Dwayne Wade carrying your fat ass.
I know what the hell you talking
So
about.
listen, they got to play some defense. He's saying he
Others
gave
gotta
up
step
70
up.
points to a team that's missing.
Rob, hook me up.
Probably his 4 or 5 best players.
You can tell when Barkley says that, it really hurts Shaq, man. But for the most part, their dynamic is far more playful than most, with the way Charles roasts teams and players never failing to cause hysterics for the Diesel.
In New Orleans, where they going, Chuck?
Galveston. That dirty ass water. We not even gonna send them to Cancun. We're gonna send them to Galveston where that dirty ass water be washed up on the shore. You people think they're in the beach. Y'all located, we y'all gonna send y'all to Cancun. Y'all drive y'all quit. Drive your ass down to Galveston. Come on, man.
So they're not taking a little.
Come on, they need to try, man. No, we're not getting them no plane ticket to the beach. We send their ass to Galveston, Texas, right where that dirty water washed up on the beach. They can't even get in the water. Come on, man.
And ultimately, Charles always feels comfortable going after Shaq because he believes O'Neal will permit him to do anything because he loves him deep down.
Ken, thanks for the kind words, but TNT, man, they give us a platform, and I'm honored to work with you. Congratulations. Ernie is amazing, and Shaq, you know, people think we hate each other, and I said, we don't hate each other. I said, I hate him, and he loves me. But man, I just want to thank TNT for giving us this amazing platform.
And clearly, the two understand each other. For one thing, Shaq was among the first to dispute the claims that he would ever leave inside the NBA. He's never gonna quit, O'Neal said. Charles is gonna be here forever. We need him, and he needs us. I'm convinced that if I'm retired and I don't do nothing, I will falter away. This is what we do and what we live for. It's what we've been doing, and we need each other. We keep each other going. Look, I've been here for 11 years. I've heard that spill before, but he's gonna be here till the wheels fall off. And sure enough, he was right, with Charles recently re-upping his deal with TNT for a whopping $210 million. Clearly, this was good news for those who love their dynamic, ensuring that they'll keep providing hilarity, both intentional and accidental, for years to come.
When a guy's banging you, you spin off of him. Those are the worst defenders to play against, actually, because if you can feel their body, come on.
18 points for Joker, only Nugget in double figures. 69-59, Golden State shooting 6.
As hostile as it can get at times over the microphones, there is always lightheartedness to Barkley sparring with Shaq. But this isn't always the case, and during his playing days, there was one team in particular who Charles had some real problems with. Dubbed as the Bad Boy Pistons, the Detroit team of the 90s was reviled by many people in the sport. And in interviews, Charles had expressed his long-standing hatred of the Pistons team that featured infamous players such as Isaiah Thomas, and of course, Bill Laimbeer.
Call your family, tell them you love them, and goodbye. Because there was a chance you wasn't going to make it out. They were trying to hurt people. They had 6 guys who used their fouls. You know what's so crazy? When I was watching that the documentary, The Last Dance, some of those fouls would get you suspended for 10 games today.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. And they were just one foul back then.
Yep.
During his playing days, Charles infamously snapped during a very heated game with the Pistons, resulting in a full scrap with Bill Laimbeer that got him fined $20,000.
There's a mismatch from the start. Isaiah Thomas taking on his former teammate Rick Mahorn. Mahorn was amused at best with Isaiah's punch that did not connect. Isaiah was ejected immediately. Bill Laimbeer, both benches cleared. Charles Barkley and Bill Laimbeer on center stage.
With Laimbeer rocking a black eye after the scuffle, Sir Charles made it clear he had zero regrets about what went down. And as the years progressed, Barkley still had jokes in reference to the situation.
You don't have any fans in Detroit. You must have imported these people.
No, I have. These are Detroit fans, and ever since I punched Bill Laimbeer, they've been happy.
1990 cost you $20,000, but well spent. Would you say that?
Bill's a great guy. I have a lot of respect for him, but it was fun punching him.
To this day, the issue remains contentious with those who were there for the notorious 1990s brawl. This came to the fore when Scott Hastings appeared on Inside the NBA, with his comments suggesting that he still held the grudge over what went down, and reminding Chuck of the cheap shot that he got in on the then Sixers star.
God, look.
Chuck, let me just say this. I'll be your chimney if you're looking for a little smoke. Now, that was 30-some years ago, and I want to point out, did I sucker punch you? Damn right I did. It felt good. That is a red badge of courage for me. But remember, if you go back to the beginning of that was Lambier and Rick that got into it. Somebody came in and sucker punched Bill Lambier, and that's my teammate. Now, the way I looked at it, this is my one shot to get a ring, and I had to protect my ring. You saw Lamb's face. You did a nice job in the middle of the pile while Jake O'Donnell was laying on top of Lambier. But that didn't fly after that. So did I sucker punch you? Damn right I did. Would I do it again? To win a ring, ain't no job too small.
Evidently, Chuck isn't someone who lets things slide particularly easily. So when one of the modern game greats decided he had a problem with him, Charles has since taken every opportunity to take a little jab whenever he can. When we reflect back, it seems like there's always been a strange dynamic between Charles Barkley and Kevin Durant.
Talk about you coming back for the playoffs last year. So you really just been working on your game, trying to get back your timing and conditioning, really, to be honest, correct?
Yeah.
Come on, man. What you do to me?
I don't do anything.
You know you been saying stuff, but we don't know you saying that.
I've never seen anybody give you just a one-word answer, man. What's up?
Hey, man, I don't care. Y'all know
Underdog, put that picture of Chuck's face on the t-shirt.
Hey, I don't get sensitive about these guys. Y'all know how I feel about them.
But these issues really began after Durant moved to the OKC Thunder to Golden State, a move which Charles didn't respect. With that, all bets were off, leading Barkley to take regular post shots at Durant's temperament and even claim that he'd moved to Golden State purely to win a championship.
Is Kevin Durant a great player?
See, you guys always talk about that championship stuff. I try to tell y'all, all these bus riders, they don't mean nothing to me.
But he was driving. You don't think he was the bus driver in Golden State?
No, I do not.
You don't think he was the best player on that team?
No, I do not.
Wow.
You don't join those 73-win team and talk about you.
But he was the best player.
No, he got MVP. He wasn't the best player. Iguodala wasn't the best player. He got MVP. If you ain't driving the bus, don't walk around and talk about you a champion. If you riding the bus, I don't want to hear it.
And since then, it's fair to say that Durant's animosity towards Barkley has only intensified. The only problem he seems to have is that whatever he says, Chuck always has a better comeback.
KD says an army of producers against the God. Just another Tuesday.
You mean the God who's sitting home with a play-in banner?
No, I don't think it should bother you. I don't think it should bother him, and it shouldn't bother.
Oh, it bothers him. He's sensitive. Cindy. Kevin's been a great player and he's a good dude, but some of these shots he's taking at obviously Russell Westbrook and Oklahoma City Thunder, I thought was really unnecessary.
Why were you disappointed he left?
Well, because I wanted him to stay in Oklahoma City. I want competitive balance. I don't like super teams. I want guys to compete. That's why I was disappointed. But
adamant that Kevin had jumped on a bandwagon and taken the easy way out rather than building a team around him, his many disses in his direction eventually led KD to make IG posts in response where he suggested that Chuck has the most unimpressive link in the squads he'd been in. Where would Chuck be without the big homies? And as you would expect, he didn't exactly stand down.
He put a picture of me and 3 old guys on there. I got no problem with that.
Yeah?
He had a couple, though.
Yeah.
Had this one. Where would Chuck be without the big homies?
Oh, we didn't win anything together. When I was the bus driver, I didn't win anything just like him.
Who was the bus driver on that bunch?
Well, nobody. I was a rookie and they were all past their prime. Listen, KD's a great player. Only point I was making, life is different when you leave the driving the bus.
This is what we do, Ernie.
So let's leave it.
Well, I don't want to leave it. Can I add one point to it? Just one.
You've been making is it going to be the same thing?
No, it's different. Okay. It's different. When the bus driver for me, I think
no disrespect. You're not in this conversation.
Wait, that's what I'm saying. Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
To no one's surprise, this latest installment of their feud did nothing to dampen the flames. And during the 2024 All-Star Game, Chuck once again clarified how he feels about KD's mentality.
I wanted to be KD, but he's not doing it. To me, it's got to be Booker. He's got to be your mental leader and your vocal leader to a certain degree. No disrespect to Kevin. Kevin's a follower. He's not a leader. He's proven that on all his stops.
And while Kevin would be forgiven for straight up despising him, he has clarified that he doesn't take it seriously and basically doesn't respect how he commentates.
He's a fucking legend that I got nothing but respect for. And I look up, I'm gonna play with pride knowing that he put blood, sweat, and tears into this organization. So that ain't got nothing to do with how he is as an analyst. Though. Like I don't agree with how he approached the game as a Hall of Famer. And how his game as an analyst, I don't really with your approach. So that's my opinion on you.
While in other interviews, he has suggested he didn't respect what he had to say because he didn't feel he knew what was really occurring behind the scenes.
Response to what he was able, what he put out?
I just feel like a lot of people that's on TV that don't ever come to the gym, don't ever come to games. It's hard for them to speak on what I do when they're not in here. So it's just part of TV, that they needed something to fill the segment up, so they talk about some negative shit, But you're not in the gym, I don't respect your opinion. You're not in the gym with me. That's just what it is.
But for all that KD has masqueraded as his true feelings on Chuck's words, it's very obvious that to some extent it must have bothered him. Otherwise, he wouldn't even acknowledge it, let alone fire back. Because by now, it's evident that Charles knows all the buttons to press to get the reaction he wants out of someone. Most recently, he exhibited his talent for destroying someone with mental warfare when he squared off with Kendrick Perkins. Arguably, this friction between them was kickstarted by Kendrick himself, as during Barkley's ongoing feud with KD, Perkins attempted to do what many have before, which was pointing to his ringless status as a way to discredit his opinion.
Only people that try to degrade someone's championship is a person that never won a championship.
Yep.
Because they don't know the journey and how it feels. And I'm talking about former players that try to knock another player that then won a championship and they haven't accomplished a damn thing. And it may be talking about another person like Charles Barkley, who has been going at Kevin Durant. You don't know how it feels to win the championship because, damn it, you haven't done it.
But this wasn't the incident that really kickstarted the issues between them. Instead, that happened during the Olympics when they clashed over Charles's critique of the Steve Kerr-led squad. Basically, Charles sounded off after Team USA narrowly escaped defeat at the hands of South Sudan and Serbia, believing that the team shouldn't even be tested.
They shouldn't be tested. They should win. They got the best team. They haven't used the depth the right way, because the one advantage we had in '92, and they still have today, when they go to their bench, they're bringing in better players. He has not used his team properly. We should never be a debate on guys getting to play and not getting to play. Listen, you can't put Jason Tatum in an NBA game. He's going to be better than 99% of the guys already in the world, but especially guys who coming from a foreign country. So you just kind of keep your guys on a treadmill and keep them rolling around.
In response, Kendrick Perkins called out Barkley's viewpoint on First Take.
Charles Barkley, one of the greatest power forwards to ever play the game of basketball. And look, one of the greatest TV personalities ever. But this was just an asinine way of talking about Team USA and what's been going on for us them representing our country. Look, this team has been balling, and they are going to get battle tested, right? The game has become global, right? You got Europeans, they have caught up with us.
With that, Charles took the gloves off, and when asked about Perkins' critiques, he didn't hold back at all.
You were critical of Kerr, and you said that that team should not be tested, and Kendrick Perkins said that was an asinine take, that of course they should be tested.
Well, first of all, don't bring up a guy who averaged 5 points a game. I'm not going to stoop to his level. You average 5 points a game, shut the hell up.
Considering how heated this was, it seemed like it'd be a bad idea to get Charles and Kendrick under the same roof. But now that TNT have lost their coverage of the NBA to ESPN, Chuck and Perk will be employed by the same people soon. And almost as soon as the news broke, Barkley let it be known that it didn't change his viewpoint on Perkins one bit. Following a particularly hot take, Charles went off on Kendrick, leaving Shaq in hysterics.
I saw a fool idiot on TV talking about the Lakers saved the NBA.
Saved the NBA?
Yeah. He's an idiot and a fool, but he know who he is. What's his name, Shaq?
Which one are you talking about?
Kendrick Perkins. He said the Lakers, first of all, the Lakers have had a great 2 weeks. He said the Lakers saved the NBA season. That's because them fools on the other network, which we're going to be working for next year, that's all they talk about. Let me tell y'all something.
Tell me something.
And first of all, I want all the smoke. I don't whistle when I walk by the graveyard or anything like that. Because y'all talk about the Lakers and the Warriors all the time. Y'all don't. The Cleveland Cavaliers have won 12 straight games. The Oklahoma City got the MVP, and they are on fire. Y'all are talking about who's in second place. That's the reason I get pissed. Hey, the Lakers are doing great. I don't mind being wrong. The Warriors are doing great, but that's because you fools on other networks, which we gonna become fools next year. We be working on that network. But Oklahoma City and the Cavs been balling for 6 months. Y'all talking about teams that had two great weeks.
Much like many of Chuck's other targets, Kendrick made the issue of letting Charles get under his skin, clapping back to the extent that he seemed eager to throw hands. NBA on TNT might want to tell that senior citizen Charles Barkley that I'll be around. When he see an idiot or fool in person, make sure he keeps that same energy. He can come play with me if he want to, and I'ma address his ass like the numbers on a house. Straight from the 409, homeboy, and we bar none and fade. Even in the face of potential violence, Charles suggested that the ESPN deal didn't change a thing, and continued to double down on his harsh words for Perkins.
Yeah, Dan, I'm not gonna change. I'm gonna do what I want to do. Nobody's gonna tell me what to say or what to do. I thought I get upset. They're like the Lakers are contenders. I'm like, no, they're not. No, they're not contenders. You know, Kendrick Perkins, who don't know his ass from a hole in the wall. He's like, the Lakers are contenders. Lakers are contenders, and I said they're not contenders. And clearly, if you lose in the first round, you're not a contender. But I'm not gonna change my personality. Ain't nobody. They can't fire me. I make too much money to get fired, so they can't fire me. First of all, they fire me, they gotta pay me for 7 years, and I'm gonna quit way before then, but if they wanna fire me, I would love for them to do that.
But just as things looked to be getting too combustible, Kendrick let the world know that they squashed it prior to becoming colleagues. But of course, Perkins had to make the first move.
I want the world to know that me and the great Charles Barkley has no beef no more. We actually talk and conversate. Really? Yup. So, cause I'm sitting up here thinking, and you know how my wife could be, right? She be on my ass. If anybody, then she be on my ass about stuff. And she was like, "You ever thought, what are you and Barkley taking shots at each other for? Why are y'all beefing?" And I said, she said, it's just stupid. So I reached out to our legend, our colleague, our good brother, Michael Wilborn, who did. And I said, hey, Wilborn, big bro, can you give Barkley my number and tell him to call me, man? I just think it's stupid.
With assistance, Perkins managed to get Charles on the line, and soon they put the feud aside.
He put us in the group message, and he wrote this whole paragraph and said, both of y'all are great friends of mine, two of my most favorite people on the planet Earth. I'm making this introduction, and maybe we could sit down and break bread and eat, go to dinner in Chicago. So I responded, appreciate it, big bro. Charles, what's up? Chuck, what's up, legend? Man, I would love to sit down with you and break bread. He responded, Big Perk, man, hey, listen, you're doing an outstanding job. We shouldn't be throwing shots at each other in the NBA Finals, man. Let's link up and break bread. So we squashed that beef, that little beef that we had. It wasn't up for some pork chops, but we squashed it.
Now on the same page, Kendrick will be hoping it stays this way. But if one thing should have become clear by now, is that if Chuck doesn't think you know what you're talking about, he won't hesitate to let you know. A man who is honest to a fault, Barkley has made no shortage of enemies out of the icons of the sport, and even entire cities because of his opinions. But while they might not always like it, the one thing you can never say is that Charles is ever going to give you anything less than his 100% real opinion. And in a world of fakery, that has to be admired, even from those who suffer from it. As always, it's your boy Luesa, and I want to thank you all for watching today's video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.